Hey, this is Chris, without Lee this time. We are going to talk about what to do if your smartphone gets wet. By the way, Lee isn't here because she's covering the shop today, doing her thing there, and I'm here at home. Wednesday is my day to stay home and just do absolutely nothing. No, it's not. It's actually my day to do the household chores that need to be done. For example, today, I'm looking out the window right now and seeing how beautiful it is. It's my day. I have to mow the grass, and I'm really not. I'm just kind of like bummed about that because I really hate mowing the grass because it looks so nice when it's done, and then 3 days later it looks like I didn't do anything. So, not really looking forward to going out and doing that. I did get up early this morning though. I took the trash to the dump. Let's see, what else? I took the coins to the local credit union and got them cashed in for some cash, which was nice. Made some coin, as it were. This video is another part of that productivity. We're going to talk about what to do if your smartphone gets wet. Very quickly and concisely, because I've tried to do this video like 4 times, and it's easy to get verbose about things, and what I like to do is try to just cut through the crap, if you will, and let's get down to the basics of this. If your smartphone has gotten wet, you really kind of have to assume it's done for. So if you assume it's done for and you kind of accept that, then move on and do these very simple steps that you can do, if you can do them, if you're technically proficient enough, if you can handle a small screwdriver, a very small screwdriver, and if you have good eyesight, because those screws are really small. So, number 1, disconnect the battery. Many phones have pop-off back covers, and you can just hit the battery. You can find the battery very quickly. It pops right out. If you have that kind of phone, good for you. If you don't, then you need to familiarize yourself with your phone and look up some YouTube videos, because I tell you what, I run a computer shop and we do all kinds of repairs, and I heavily depend upon the concise information that I can find. I have no problem taking something apart, but it really is helpful to have like spot on information, so you don't have to waste a bunch of time. It's like, does this screw come out? Where does it, what do you do when you get to this part of it? No, you don't have to worry about that. You find the information that's available to you and make good use of it. So get the battery disconnected. Excuse me. Next part is, and there's no getting around this, I'm sorry, you're going to have to disassemble your phone. Some phones are easy, some phones are hard, but what you need to do is get that thing completely apart, because you know what? If you don't get it completely apart, you'll never be sure that all of the moisture is gone. You have to be able to visually inspect every single part, every single motherboard, every single daughter board, every single connector, everything. You have to be able to see it and make sure that it's dry. And finally, to dry it out. You might be able to get away with a hot air gun or a hair dryer to dry these things out. I do not recommend those things, especially a hot air gun, because it is very easy to melt every component on your smartphone. What you really want to do is right now, before your phone gets wet, before you run into trouble, go to your local drugstore and get some 90% or higher isopropyl alcohol and put it where you can find it, so that when your smartphone gets wet, you will have the proper liquid to immerse the various components of your smartphone in. I think it's important to understand that there's nothing inherently bad about taking electronic components and dipping them, like just throwing them into a bath of isopropyl alcohol. If there's no power, there's no problem. Let me repeat that. That sounds good. If there's no power, there's no problem. Throw that circuit board in there. Okay, let me back up a minute. Don't throw your screen in there. Set your screen off to the side. And very carefully with a Q-tip, go over your screen. But very lightly, do not immerse your screen in any kind of liquid. You'll probably ruin it. Sorry, I got a little bit excited, a little bit ahead of myself. But any kind of circuit board, yeah, chuck it in there. Get yourself a good toothbrush. It doesn't matter what kind. While that's in there, scrub it off. Make sure there's no corrosion. It all kind of does depend on how fast you get to it. I mean, the faster the better. Just keep in mind that your smartphone might have been ruined the very second it came in contact with the liquid that it came in contact with. Just keep that in mind, because this is all about mitigating the damage that's been done. You just don't know. But don't just, hey, you might as well try for the best outcome that you can get, right? Instead of just saying, well, I'm just going to try to power the smartphone back on even though it's just been dunked in a porta potty water, right? No, don't do that. Keep it powered off. Remove the battery, whatever it takes. Take the thing apart, whatever it takes. Clean everything except for the screen. And you'll know you'll know what I mean if you've done your research. Everything except the screen goes into a bath of isopropyl alcohol. Inspect everything that's been in the alcohol. Scrub it off with the alcohol with a toothbrush, and let it dry. Let it dry for a day. Let it dry for a couple of days. That alcohol will. The good thing about the alcohol is that alcohol and water are what's known as miscible, which means they mix. They kind of attract each other, and so if there's just a little bit of water on that motherboard of that smartphone or on any other component except for the screen, of course, I feel I need to really stress that. Don't mess with the screen part. If the screen's screwed up, you have to get another one. There's nothing you can do. But everything else, you might be able to save. And so that alcohol will draw the water out from under all those little pieces of circuitry, all those little resistors, capacitors, little ICs, integrated circuits, packages. It will do it, and just let it dry out, and then once again, following the instructions from the YouTube video that you've already looked up, you'll be able to put your phone back together, and then hopefully it'll work. And if it does, good for you, and if it doesn't, well, then it wasn't going to work anyway. But before you go out and spend, $100, $200, $300, whatever you're going to spend on another smartphone, it's worth the effort, I think. I mean, if it takes you 4 hours total of labor to do it, why not? Go ahead and go for it. So that is my guide. That's my short and sweet. I mean, it's almost 10 minutes long. But, that's what you got to do. I mean, there is no shortcut. Rice sucks for that. It's not going to work. So anyway, this is Chris again. And like and subscribe our channel if you find this information useful. I'd really appreciate it, okay? Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.